And once again, the honk will lead them. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Arvanauts. Welcome, everybody, to a Thursday stream. It is Thursday, June 11th, and I regret to inform you that next week is going to be mid-June. I am a little troubled, I will admit, by the reality of this statement, because it means that we are blowing through the months again, and so that's a little disturbing. But we are nonetheless here on Thursday, June 11th. It's about 3 minutes after 9 p.m. Eastern, and it is a great pleasure to welcome everybody to the epic conclusion of D&D with viewers up the Beanstalk. We spent 2 sessions meeting, climbing into clouds and taking down pigs, long story, and dealing with a friendly giant, and then coming to this cave and finding a couple of random hens, and still looking for the aforementioned Jack, the legend, the hero. Have to wait to rescue Jack. We have come to this dangerous cave where Jack can be found, and so tonight we are going to wrap things up with Up the Beanstalk, and also, if we get lucky, and I don't know, but we will see, if we get lucky and we have time, we might even have a little bit of some bonus content, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But before we get there, just a couple of reminders about ways to support the channel. Also, thank you. 40 consecutive streams. My goodness, Prince Justin. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you are well. So a couple of quick notes here, if you have not already done so. I know, right, Triffid? Like, I can't, and also, hi, Triffid. It is amazing how the time zips through. Zach and I have been planning for something with this Roleplay by the Bay, and that, too, is almost upon us. In fact, that is going to be happening literally 2 weeks from this Saturday. And so just amazing how the time goes. But anyway, let's talk a little bit. Let's get these things set up to begin with, and then we'll get rolling with stuff. If you have not already done so, and you are interested in doing so, oh my goodness, yay, 75 months Jubilee. That's right. Also, what is 75 months is also diamond is 50, right? Is that 50 months is diamond? So 75 months is like platinum, titanium. What I don't even remember what 75 is besides the Jubilee, but 75 is like some particular thing, right? Like diamond is 50, and I can't remember what 75 is, like some epic awesome thing that exists. But anyway, thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate it, Triffid. Welcome. And yeah, so if you have not already done so, 75 is diamond. So what's 50 then? What is 50? What even is 50? 50 is gold. Okay. And 25 is probably silver, right? I should know this because my wife's and my I have a couple of years to worry about this. My wife's and my 25th wedding anniversary will be happening in August of 2028. So we have 2 years basically from this coming August, and there'll be 25. Yeah, 25 is silver. 100 years is obsidian. And 200 years is unobtainium, right? Like that's how that works. Okay, cool. Now I know. I knew that some of them was like wood, cloth, and then they had the ones that like the companies tried to put in play that were like, this one is like appliances, this is like home goods, and you're like, you people just want to buy appliances and home goods. Like that's how this works. Anyway, please do follow the channel if you haven't done so already. Please, if you have not already done so, check out our YouTube. Thanks for those watching over on YouTube right now. ! ArvTube for that. Please subscribe to me over there. Free for you to do that, but it really helps out and it gives you some extra content as well. Discord is ! ArvCord. You can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Apologies also, I put an announcement up on Discord because I wasn't sure about what was going on with Arv Live, but in fact Arv Live is working perfectly, and so you just got 2 announcements basically, so it's not a huge deal, but you know. But anyway, so the live bot is working great, so that's lovely. But again, Discord is ! ArvCord. Website for all this is also Blue Sky, ! ArvSky. Please do follow me over there. And the website for this, arvaneleron.com. Financially, ! ArvShop. That is the merchandise area. You can get cool swag for you and also support the channel at the same time. The Patreon is ! ArvTreon. It has ticked up over the last couple of weeks. We've gotten a few new members, a couple of free and 1 new paid member, which is lovely. So please do join us for that. You can get cool stuff for yourself and and for the channel. We are going to make some adjustments to it as time allows, but in the meantime, there is some unique stuff you can get there. Also, subbing to the channel, as Triffid was kind enough to do, that gets you those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. And also, both with the Patreon and with subbing to the channel, you can get inspirations if you support at a high enough tier to support our tabletop players. So that is always appreciated too, and allows you to have the power over whether they live or die, succeed or fail. It's not quite like that, but it does give you some interactive abilities that you might not have as much of otherwise. On the publishing front, Exclamation Point Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation Point Library, that's my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And Exclamation Point Greyshade, that's my Greyshade IP, Greyshade Renegade and Heretic, the Grey Assassin trilogy available at that link. You can get the audiobooks. Those are the books, by the way, award-winning, critically acclaimed from Athos Arts. You can get the audiobooks of Greyshade Renegade and Heretic from our very own Trent Sparks at that link. And you can also pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade at that link, coming to you from Alligator Alley Entertainment and designed by our very own Brandon O'Brien. That should be coming out soon, TM. So I'm very excited about that. And yes, please do consider jumping on board for that too. That again is Exclamation Point Greyshade. And as always, Exclamation Point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation Point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Exclamation Point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And send the message will do so for others in that situation in the future. Continued love to the people of Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis, the people of Memphis, the people of Newark, New Jersey, who continue to fight against federal occupation and fascism and do so with bravery and courage. Thank you for doing that, for inspiring all of us, and keep it up. We are winning, folks. I believe that we will win is the statement that we hear from union reps and a lot of others. I believe that we will win. We are winning right now, but it's slow and at a great cost, but keep it up. We will get there, and thank you for your inspirations in doing so. All right, tonight we have got, as I say, the conclusion of Up the Beanstalk D&D with viewers. Then on Saturday, we have a premiere of a new video game, and it's actually a new video game not just for me, but a new video game, period, and that is 007 First Light. Very excited for this. I am aware that everyone in the world is playing this right now. Don't care. I generally try to avoid playing games that absolutely everyone else is playing, but I have a soft spot in my heart for spy stuff. I have been looking for an honest-to-God sequel to Alpha Protocol, which was a flawed but really, really cool game, and I've been seeking that out for many years, and so this is as close as I'm going to get. So I kind of like James Bond and Jason Bourne and all that kind of cool stuff anyway, so we will be doing that on Saturday night. I think that should be a good time. And then next week is my last pre-San Francisco week. So next week we have the Patreon-fueled Chat Chosen Game of the Month. Next week we have got the premiere of what I think is going to be the Lamplighters League from Harebrained Schemes over on GOG.com and Pen and Pixels. And then we have more of the Our Vocalists with Citizen Sleeper 2 next Tuesday as well. And then Thursday we've got some Gloomhaven with my good friend Zach Clay. Saturday the 20th is our post-mortem episode of D&D with I&B. Eberron, Oracle of War, and we will have, I'm really looking forward to that. Also, a little bit of setup for the Dragonlance campaign to come, and then the following Tuesday after that is going to be our final pre-San Francisco stream before I fly out to San Francisco, because on Saturday the 27th, Roleplay by the Bay, our first annual, he said, TTRPG Con featuring myself and Zach Clay, and in conjunction with the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation and the San Francisco Public Library. Zach and I have worked out all the details. I now have a landing page for this, and actually let me get rid of this and turn on this so you don't have to keep looking at a blank screen. Hello, everyone. So I now have, I believe, let me pop up the landing page here. They are going to put together an Eventbrite link for this too, so that you can actually see that. Let's see. I'm going to pull up my history so that I can actually get to the link for it. And then when I get that, I will post it to here so we can see it. Where is the link? Where is the link? Where is the link? I know I put it here. I know I put it here. I put the link somewhere. I don't know where the hell I put the link. I'm going to find it myself. Okay. Role play. I found it. All I had to do is start typing it in my browser. Okay. So it's here. Right there. Performance, role play by the Bay, a live D&D event. It will be taking place again from 10:15. Actually, the doors open at 10 o'clock. I would recommend you get there at 10 o'clock a.m. That is Pacific time, by the way, 10 a.m. PDT until 5 p.m. PDT. From 10:15 to 10:45, we will have an interview panel with the Damon Runyon scientists. I have 4 of these scientists who are going to be joining us for this event, which is very exciting. We'll be talking to them for a little bit about their research, and then we're going to do our one-shot event. That's only going to be 2 hours. I'm going to have to be really make sure that I ate my Wheaties that morning and make sure that I run a quick session that's not going to run over time. Then from 1 to 2 we will have lunch. From 2 to 5 p.m. Will be live D&D with the San Francisco Public Library teen interns. Zach has been working with these people, training them to be dungeon masters. Now they will have a chance to play live in front of a studio audience, by which I mean a live audience. So I'm excited about that. Again, this is Role Play by the Bay. It's a live D&D event, and it's the first time that we've had something like this at the San Francisco Public Library. Also, the Bay Area with the, I don't know, I can't say the demise of, but certainly the current retirement of the Big Bad Con. The Bay Area doesn't have a whole lot of fantasy-oriented, gaming-oriented type cons. There may be, I'm sure there are Comic-Cons and things like that and anime cons, but in terms of actual gaming cons, not a lot there. And, San Francisco, huge, legitimate, big city. So I am excited to be able to bring this to there. I'm excited to be able to do it in front of a live audience, and we will, of course, be trying to live stream it on Twitch as well, if we possibly can. But the clear way to make sure that you get to see all of the festivities is in live is to make sure that you actually go yourself to this event if you live in the Bay Area. I was about to say, if you live in California. If you live in California, just drive over there. California is really small, right? You could just drive right up, be 30 minutes and you're there, right? Saying that to someone about you can drive to a live event in Connecticut and saying you can drive to a live event in California is a very different request, right? A very different thing. But in any case, that's what we got going on. I am very excited for all of it. But tonight, what we got going on is some D&D with viewers. And I'm going to pop over there to reveal to you what we have got going on here. I do need a little bit of music, so let's pop up something with the OST. Get down with OST. Yeah, you know me. And let's get this rolling. Oh, cool. Brad Lander found not guilty in NYC Immigration Court protest trial. Awesome. I'm excited about that. He certainly would not have deserved to be found that way, but that was a quick trial. Oh, as a federal judge, that's why. Not guilty of a misdemeanor charge. All right, good. Brad Lander's good people. Right, okay. So let me pop over to, let's go get some YouTube stuff going on and get some music. All righty. What's a good soundtrack for this? Let's say, how about the Ultima Underworld OST? It's only 17 minutes, really? All right, what if I do both of them? Oh, they have a symphonic. Okay, let me do this one. The Roland soundtrack. Let's do this.
Don't play their game.
Yeah, don't play their game. Wait, play this game though. Okay, wait, just getting past the commercials. Sorry about that. Okay. Ah, yes, the classic. See, I was familiar with this because I had a Kawaii keyboard, MIDI-compatible keyboard, that I connected because I had a MIDI sound card to be able to do this, and I connected this to the computer. So all my soundtrack for playing this game, Ultima Underworld, which is one of my favorites of all time, played out through the keyboard and sounded really awesome through the keyboard. So I have very fond memories of doing that. All right, let's get this going, people. So this, just as a reminder to everyone, by the way, oh, and sorry, one other thing I needed to remind everyone is this, which is next game. Please also make sure to get your votes in here. That vote is going to be ending Saturday night, so you do have until Saturday, but please make sure that you get your votes in for the next game, because that game is what I'm going to be playing next Tuesday. So, all right, is volume sounding good for everybody? Is everyone good on the volume? Is everyone hearing some good volume with stuff like this? We also are going to have to wait a little bit because people are assembling, and we're going to have to wait a little bit till we make sure that we have a critical mass of people. So I may have to wait a bit, but in the meantime, I will explain what is going on. So we have got up the Beanstalk. We have done a number of things, but what we did last time was we entered this cave. This cave sound is good. Thank you, Trivet. We entered this cave, and this cave, which has some strange things in it. We found some broken down boxes. We found a couple of random hens. We found a wild, sort of weird statue or whatever. And we have essentially, if I zoom out a bit, we have made our way from we've made our way from down here all the way. Let me show you. We went up this way and around. We took a brief direction here to try to find out what's going on with that hen. Then we came down here. Then we came down here, explored that area, came up from here. Then we went down here. I think we explored this, if I'm not mistaken. Came this way, found another one that was like the deal that we saw up in number 2, and then came up here. So that is where we've gone so far. And this area here, we have not explored this area, or this area, or this area. We have not explored those areas yet, or this area, frankly. We have not explored those areas yet. So we've done about half, maybe a little bit more of this cave. And in our last part of the adventure, right as we got to that last section, it says the following: the ground rattles before you ever so softly. Perhaps you felt larger rumbles, but this one is certainly noticeable. An earthquake in the clouds? Absolutely not, you think to yourself as you swing around to find a miniature earth elemental rushing your position. So we have a miniature earth elemental that must be defeated, or, we will be defeated. And this is a good time for me to mention the stuff with our character, because we have our character, Dofria, who is a dragonborn sorcerer. Right now, she has got, let's see. Let me see how many. She's got a potion of healing. She has got an empty scroll tube. She's got a gold ring, an ornate dagger. She also has got, in terms of spell slots, let's see. She's got 1 out of 4 slots left. And she's got 1 out of 4 first level spells. She's got 1 out of 2 second level spells. She does have a font of magic. She has 2 points left in that, which can allow her. So we could transform 2 of those sorcery points into a spell slot as a bonus action. So if we wanted, we could use that font of magic to create another slot, either for Blur, which is our 1 second level spell, or another first level spell. So we have some things that we could do, have some flexibility in terms of what might be possible for us regarding spells. But regardless, we have Ray of Frost, we have True Strike, and then we've got things like our Cold Breath, which I don't think we've used yet. So we have all that. We also have our current hit points right now are sitting at 20, which is great. We have used up our hit dice, though, and unfortunately, we have a level of exhaustion, which means that we're going to be at a disadvantage on ability checks. So that is something we're going to have to think about. So we'll have to consider how that all goes. Okay, I have placed the miniature Earth Elemental on this screen. As you can see, we have 22 hit points for this guy, and obviously it has not attacked us yet. So the time has come for us to get into battle against this creature, which starts with initiative. So, as I say, we are just getting started, which means people are gathering. So, do I have anyone who is interested in rolling dice this evening, who would like to roll dice for us? Because I will be rolling dice for the bad guys. Is anyone interested and able to roll some dice, perhaps? And as I say, people are just arriving, so I understand if we do not have a critical mass of people yet. But if someone is interested, please let me know. While I'm waiting for answers on that, by the way, I should say that if we get through this in time, we'll see how much time we use up. But I might today do a bit of an unboxing. Won't be here tonight long enough before I turn into a pumpkin. I understand, Prince Justin. It's okay. But please note, this is a solo board game, Tomb Raider, The Crypt of Kronos. And I've got... It's a nice, thick box. And I am thinking about... And I may do an unboxing video of this later if we get this. I backed this on Kickstarter like 4 years ago or something, or 3 years ago, a long time ago, and like honestly kind of forgot about it. And then they were like, hey, here's an update, this stuff is being shipped. I'm like, wait, what? And then it arrived. So I have this solo board game, which I am looking forward to. It's good timing during the summer. And I also got I got the expansion, Croft Manor, baby, with Winston Miniature. So that was a stretch goal that came out too. So, okay, you'll wait to see if anyone else wants to roll the bones. Let us see if we will. As I say, I expect that other people will join us as time goes on. But we shall see if anyone else is interested in doing it. I am looking forward to this one. This may be... I'm not sure. This might be my last sort of choose-your-own-adventure-ish one for a little while in the D&D with Viewers category. I have a couple thoughts there. I might have one or two that I might try, but I'm thinking this may be the last one I'll do for a little while, which would simply mean that D&D with Viewers would be back to the standard, like, you know, doing a quick pickup session with Viewers T&D type stuff, but we will not have to worry about that until August because we only do this every other month, so... Anyone else interested? Anyone else interested in maybe doing a little bit of the dice rolling, the dice stuff? All you need is a dice roller, which you can get online. And since you're able to see me, that means that you can actually get online because you're watching me now. So that's all we need. Sort of standard D20, style things. Sure, Prince Justin, you can do it for a bit, and I won't, and again, whenever you need to bow out for lateness of time, totally understandable. I totally get it. Okay, so what we are going to do here is, sounds good. All right, so what we would need from you then is, let's take a look at, I believe Dofria's got the +1 initiative. Yeah. So we're looking at a 20 +1 for this one, Prince Justin. And I believe I have it set up. So when you say $roll space D20 +1, I think, Triffid can confirm, but I believe that will actually let that work, I think, in chat. I think it's $roll space D20 +1, I think. Yep, that's right. All right, we start out with a 10. Literally just right in the middle, 10. Okay, lovely. All right, let me roll myself. Move that over there. All right, and let's see, this guy. You would think a miniature earth elemental would not be the most dexterous creature of all time, but who knows? All right, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, that's what I thought. -1 for its initiative. Great. I've already started out. I'm already causing problems. Okay. So the miniature earth elemental is going to go first. So, let's see. It is going to attempt to slam. Dun 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 dun. Let the boys be boys. Okay. It's going to attempt to slam. Let's see. So. Okay. It rolls a 10, but I'm pretty sure that is not going to hit us because I believe our armor class is higher than that. It is. So slam. Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw, but I actually put like right down here. Yeah, I just basically did an earth elemental, but I made him kind of small. You know. But he tries to slam. He's like, meh. See? But he's going to miss. Okay. So now the question is, chat, how do we want to fight this guy? Because we have several options. Earth elementals, we would obviously know, do tend to be resistant to certain non-magical attacks. So we would have to take that into account. However, we do have some options. We can attack with... If I could bring up everything that I'm supposed to bring up, please. So we have, we could attack it with our, let's see, our quarterstaff, which is +2. So, how should we attack? Which is +2. (1d8) bludgeoning. But again, probably it's going to be resistant. 1d8 bludgeoning. We could attack with a dagger, which is, let's see, dagger. That is +3. Oh, actually, don't we have something magical, though? Wait a second. No, we do not. All right. I thought we did. I was wrong. So we could do dagger, which is +3. However, it is only 1d4 +1 piercing. This is actually the combat music in the game. That's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Proxima? How you doing? I pray to the god of beads, Lord Pinto, bless my soul. Okay, so we've got that. We do have our cold breath, which is a 15-foot cone. The elemental would have to make a Constitution saving throw and would take 2d6 cold damage on a failed save, half as much damage on a successful one. And also, yeah, so we could use that. However, we do that once and then that's it until we get a short rest. So cold breath would be a lot of damage. But the question is, do we want to save it for whatever the big bad is here? And this is a miniature earth elemental. I know it's miniature, but still it could be a little bit dangerous. Or do we cast a spell? All right. Let's get those votes in, chat. So, $ vote space 1 if you would like to attack with the quarterstaff. $ vote space 2 if you would like to attack with the dagger. Reminder, both of those non-magical, therefore probably resistant. $ vote space 3 is cold breath. Or $ vote space 4 is cast a spell. We do have spells and, of course, magic it would take full damage from. We have cantrips, which, of course, are free. We do have one first-level slot left. We could cast Magic Missile or, I guess, Chromatic Orb. We could also cast Blur. We also have 2 sorcery points left, so we could actually get another slot. It would cost us 2 sorcery points to get a first-level slot. So we could get that back. That is possible. So $ vote space 1, quarterstaff, 2, dagger, 3, cold breath, 4, cast a spell. So please get your votes in now. Prince Justin has voted for casting a spell. We are a Dragonborn sorcerer. I mean, it's not, wildly out of bounds to do that. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? So far, we've got the 1 vote for casting a spell. Oh man, I remember this. I remember this combat music so much, so well. Did I get? And then when you beat it, yep, yep, yep. All right, last call here. Last call. Last call. Last call. Going once. Going twice. All right, we are going to cast a spell. I think I'm going to save this actually as... let's see. I'm going to save this as the combat post, because that way I can... If I can find where the folder is it here? Yeah, there we go. Oh, I have an Up the Beanstalk combat poll. Do I really? Okay, well, cast a spell is 1. Can I load a combat poll? Let me see if I can load a combat poll. That would be interesting. Ah, interesting. Okay. So that was basically it. But then, anyway, this worked fine. Okay, cool. We're going to save that as that, actually. Up the Beanstalk combat poll. Yes, okay. Right, so they have 1, so it's going to be cast a spell. All right, so the question is, what do we have available to us? And I probably should have put this up this way, but that's fine. We'll do it this way now. So we have 1 slot left on Blur. As you all may know, Blur will make it harder for the elemental to hit us. We have 1 slot of that left, so we could do that. We could cast Magic Missile. We have 1 slot of that left. We could, however, use our sorcery points and convert them into another first level slot. So we technically have 2 available to us if we wanted. We have Ray of Frost. I've already talked about the Dragon Breath, and then the Quarterstaff and the Dagger. So now that we actually see the spells, let me actually open this up again. My apologies, Prince Justin, for opening this up a second time. Do we want to cast Blur? Again, 1 second level slot left there. Cast Magic Missile. We have 1 first level slot, but we have enough to cast a second Ray of Frost, Dragon Breath, attack with Quarterstaff, or Dagger. So please get your votes in now. Please do so now if you can. Good old cantrip action, it's true. I was talking to, on the Gen GM's recording, which Gen GM videos are starting to come out more consistently now. Zach and I were talking a little bit about, I was talking about the Vancian system in 1st edition and then 2nd edition. But the Vancian system in the old 1st edition, first level wizards basically were, you had like the 1 magic missile in a dream, right? And then it was all about throwing darts or using a dagger and trying to stay out of the way. And it wasn't until you started getting up to 3rd level, 4th level that your wizard actually started to scale in terms of power properly. But man, those first couple of levels were rough. You were not doing a whole lot. You were like, okay, now do I do my 1 awesome thing? Now do I do my 1 awesome thing? And then it was like, I'm good, you know? I think the cantrip is an improvement, to be honest. I don't think everything has to be made new school, but that was one where probably not the most efficient, entertaining system I could imagine of having a person cast a spell and then be out of luck for, you know, until they have a chance to rest. So. All right, so we're going to last call this. As we last called that before. Oh, that's right. I already last called it. Sorry. All right, so we're going to do that. Ray of Frost it is. I love it. Ray of Frost is, of course, a cantrip. So, if we take a look at our Ray of Frost. All right, so we're going to make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage. All right, so Just looking at our guy. +5. Okay. So, we're looking at, would you be so kind then, Prince Justin, as to roll 1d20 +5 to try to hit this guy? A 16. That, I'm going to hope that hits because, yes, it definitely does. All right. Good opening start. Okay. Please, please, if you would, roll. I believe that is 1d8 cold damage. And he's going to take all of that. He is not resistant to cold damage. Ah, 2. A good hit. And then we got just a little bit of damage. You'd think that a mini Earth Elemental would be more affected by that, you know? Okay. Good job. All right. We're going to go up here. We're going to drop him down to 20. All right. Okay. Second round. Here we go. We go back up to the top. He is going to attempt to hit. If I can ever find my dice roller. There it is. Okay. I'm going to roll there. That is a 13. That is still not enough to hit. All right. Now the question simply is, are we doing Ray of Frost again? So I'll make this quick. People can just actually tell me in chat. Yes, no. Are we going to attack with Ray of Frost again? Are we doing that one more time? Hit me, baby, one more time. You could just say yes or no. Yes, frost him again. Frost him again. Also, it makes him slower, so there's also that. All right. Does anyone have an objection to frosting him a second time? I must frost you a second time. It looks like the answer to that is no, that people are okay with that. So, given that that is the case, I will ask you then to please do your ranged attack one more time. So again, this is going to be adding +5. Roll d20 +5 if you would, Prince Justin. 17, another hit. A very palpable hit, as Osric says in Hamlet. All right, now we roll 1d8. Let's get that thing. 6. Hey, that's what we're talking about. All right, he's down to 14. He's kind of like Sandman getting iced. Okay, next round, he rolls a 10. Does not even come close to hitting. I'm going to assume we're going to stay with the Ray of Frost unless I'm told different. So unless there is an objection, Prince Justin, I would like you to please d20 +5 again on this guy. On this dude. 19. Wow. Good hit. Loved it. Loved everything about that. All right, let's see that D8 roll then, please. And a 3. All right, he's down to 11. Okay, he rolls a 9. I am very pleased. I'm not going to jinx it, but I'm just going to say that I rolled a 9. That's great. Okay, Ray of Frost again. Another 19. My goodness. All right. Let's go. That is a hit. Let's see that D8 for the roll for the Ray of Frost, please. Oh, 3. Sorry, you did it. All right, he's down to 8. Okay, he finally hit. Oh, but that's not a natural 20. All right. For a minute I was like, oh, but no, it's fine. I was a little concerned, but it's all good. All right. Let's see. So okay. 5 points of damage to our person. To Dofria. Bear with me just a second. Okay. never figured this out the first time. All right, let's see. Okay, out of the free drawing. We're going to see 15. We're going to move it over there. Wait. There we go. Move it up there. 15. Lovely. All right. If I know, I was going to say, like, you're getting him out of the way, I hope, for this. All right, we're going to put up the Ultima Underworld 2 complete soundtrack, which is exciting. Ultima Underworld 2, also very good. Solid game. Not, to me, as good as Underworld 1, but still solid. And the less said about Underworld Descendants, the better. Because, oh my god. All right, so 15. Okay, now it is our turn to attack again. So if you would please, Prince Justin, go ahead and roll again. There were some interesting areas, yeah. The concept of it I always thought was cool, too, that you're, like, trapped in this bubble. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll your 1d8, please. Wow. Well, if you were rolling that damage that way, your players would be happy about that. Okay. That is a 14. That is enough to hit. Just. I believe I did that. Wait a second. Am I right on the... Hold on. Nope, I was wrong about that. It's 3. So it should be 8 points of damage. Is that right? Yes. So 8 points of damage. All right. Getting a little more dicey there. The good news is that we have we do have a healing potion if we need it. All right, let's finish this thing off. So now the question is, it's got 7 points left. So the question is, do we now shoot a magic missile at it to try to wipe this thing out? Because we've been Ray of Frosting, which has been very effective. Do we want a magic missile? Yeah. Does anyone have an objection to us doing that? And then we would have to use our sorcery points to give us that one remaining slot for future use of spells. I'm thinking probably, but let me know whether anyone has an objection. Magic missile. Does anyone have an objection to using that? Okay, hearing none, then I think we're going to be good to go with that. So, all right, so what I would like, please, is 1d4 plus 1 3 times, please, Prince Justin. 1d4 plus 1 3 times. And let's see if we can wipe this guy out. It's a good start. 5. 4. Already dead. Let's see what the last one is. 3. Yeah, we blow this guy the heck up. Nice combat, by the way, here, Prince Justin. Well done. Good rolls right there. Okay, this guy is destroyed. And before we continue... That's 7, right? Before we continue, I'm going to suggest that we use our second potion of healing, which is going to be 2d4 plus 1, because we did sort of take it on the chin there. So does anyone have an objection to us doing the 2d4 plus 1 heal? And then getting rid of our healing potion. Which would concern me more if it were not for the fact that we're closing in at the end of this thing, so... Let's do it. Why can I not? This thing is not giving me... Oh, I see why. I think I see why. Okay, there we go. But not spray, we want circle. Oh god. Not that wide. Let's make that width much less. No. And also maybe that's a little extreme. Let's try for something like that. There we go. All right, so the potion of healing. So, let's roll. If you could roll 2d4 plus 1, please, Prince Justin. So we're looking at a 5. It should be 1d4, but yeah, no, that's right. 2d4 plus 1. Okay, so we get 5 back. a little low, but it is certainly better than where we were. So we are back up to 12 now. All right, so... Okay, 12. Great. All right. 12 points of health is good. Comparatively, our little miniature elemental guy is destroyed. It would be great if he actually had something cool. I don't think he does, though, but we will see. Actually, it's a good question. Does he have those things? Let's find out. Okay. The Earth Elemental miniature dropped a gorgeous orange-red garnet worth 50 gold pieces. All right. The problem with all these like little treasures is that's great, but like there's no merchants sitting around here, so like I'm glad to know that there's something here, but still. Okay. Garnet. Kevin Garnett, 50 gold pieces. Oh, by the way, congratulations to your Knicks, Prince Justin. That was quite a that was quite something. All they had to do was get Trump out of the building, and the Knicks were right back to the way they should have been. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I can't believe the Spurs lost that game. The Spurs played so badly in the second half, like just tailor-made for the Knicks to win. But the Knicks had to play essentially perfectly in the second half to win, and both of them did. The Knicks had a 0.4% chance, 0.4, to come back and win that game, and they did. It was wild. Even that last tip-in was something. So congratulations. I understand you don't want to jinx them, but I don't. You know, I feel like as a Celtics fan, the whole thing where someone's like, if they ask me, don't jinx them. I'm not a Knicks fan. You only jinx it when you are a fan of a particular team and you try to jinx your own team. But if I'm someone else, like it's like the classic no-hitter and you try to like jinx the no-hitter by talking to the other team. It doesn't work on another team. Like if you're a fan of another team, like it doesn't work. So I can't jinx the Knicks. My thought is that the chances of the Spurs coming back after that kind of gut punch loss, I don't see it. I don't know that the Knicks automatically win Game 5, but woof. Anyway, but that was an amazing comeback. It was really hard, unbelievable. Okay, so Now, this one I'm not going to give a choice about because we already came from the south. So I'm going to have us go up here. And then from here, we're going to have a decision to make, which will be left open to people. So here we are. We are now standing at this intersection. The path is interrupted by a three-way intersection. The path leads to the northeast, the southwest, and the south. Along the northwestern wall, you find a river. The water is traveling at a moderate speed from the north down to the southwest. Additionally, an entrance to a larger chamber is broken up by the river. So, our choices are as follows. I'm not going to give us the place we just came from. So instead, we're going to do the other options. So option number 1 is to go to the south. Where are my poles at? There we go. So, clear. Option 1 is to go south to the room right below us. Option 2 is to go to the northeast to this area right here. So option 1 is to go south here. Option 2 is to go here to the northeast. And option 3 is to go here to the chamber. So what would you like to do, chat? $ vote space 1 means we go south to here. $ vote space 2 means we go northeast to here. And $ vote space 3 means we go to the chamber. All right, Prince Justin has said, let us go south. I respect it. As other people come in, I know that I see that we've had a few other people jump in. As other people come in, please feel free to jump on board and contribute. You too can vote and be a part of this. I know we don't usually do a D&D with viewers on Thursday night, so that is something I guess there was not a lot of time. I thought I had more time for more Tuesdays, but the Tuesdays kind of got used up rather quickly, so. Yeah. We'll need I know we will need another die roller soonish. It's true. Okay, going once on this. Going twice on this. And okay. So going south it is. All right. A horrific sight is the only way to describe this mess. Piles, mounds, hills of rotting human flesh and bones tower this thin up tall... Wait. I think they mean tower up this thin, tall chamber. The ceiling stretches nearly 60 feet high, stacked with disgust. You are physically repulsed by this chamber and mean to leave. So, you have two options. $ vote space 1 means we leave immediately. $ vote space 2 means we try to resist. So $ vote space 1 means we leave and go back to 7. $ vote space 2 means we resist. $ vote space 1, leave. $ vote space 2, attempt to resist. It is a Constitution saving throw. And actually, as a con saving throw... Yeah, we don't actually have negatives on con saving throws. So it would be +2. Oh man, I remember this music. I remember this music. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna last call this. All right, so we are going to leave. We're going to get the hell out. So we're back up here. All right, so never mind the whole going south thing. So instead the choices are... $ vote space 1 means that we are going to go here to the northeast to this intersection. $ vote space 2 means we're going to go here to the chamber. So $ vote space 1 here. $ vote space 2 here to the chamber. You got to vote for Northeast. Do, 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 do. All right, I'm going to last call that also. Going once. Going twice. And sold. All right. Northeast it is. You are confronted by a disgusting... No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. Just kidding. Path is interrupted by a three-way intersection. The path leads to the northeast, southwest, and south. Along the northwestern wall, you find a river. The water is traveling at a moderate speed from the north down to the southwest. Additionally, an entrance to a larger chamber is broken up by the river. So, basically, we have two choices here again. It's more or less the same as what we just had, which is that we go northeast to here, which is like the last unexplored area in the map, actually, or we go to the chamber. So $ vote space 1 means we go here. $ vote space 2 means we go to the chamber. These are the two options. Vote space 1 chamber, northeast rather, 2 chamber. Okay. Going once. Going twice. All right, we're going to do it. All right, northeast it is. Here we are. And the title of this is Save Jack. We've made it, people. You approach a chamber and find precisely what you have been looking for. It is him, Jack. He is bound in a cage opposite you, about 50 feet away. The only thing that separates you is a 10-foot wide river. Hey, it's a trap, don't! Jack screams. But it is too late. Indeed, it was a trap. You feel the earth rumble and you hear a deep voice call out, echoing through the halls. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Blunderbore smells flesh. Be alive or dead. I'll grind your bones to make my bread. A horrifying visage has now appeared before you and Jack standing in the river. You stand before the ethereal image of a cloud giant. A large, well-fed cloud giant at that. Defeat the vision of it and get me out of here. The real giant will be here soon, Jack calls out. And I think I actually have a picture of this. Yeah, I do. Let's see if I can get a picture of this up on screen. Let's see. All right, so if we go here, here, and we go to here, and it's, let's see, avatar of Blunderbore. Okay, this is what he looks like. He looks like this. Okay, there's this. We go here, and wait for it. All right. That's what he looks like. All right, sounds good. Good night, Prince Justin. That is the guy. That is the one that we need to defeat. And that's it. So basically, one way or the other, this is going to solve the problem one way or the other. I am going to suggest, unless someone has an objection, I am going to suggest that we use our sorcery points to create that final slot. And the reason for this is that if we don't do that, we're kind of going to get, I think, in a little bit of trouble. So unless someone has an enormous objection... No, needs to be smaller than that. Nope, still smaller. All right, so we have one slot left. Okay, so we've got one slot left, which means we've got Magic Missile, and it means that what we've got to do is roll initiative against this guy. So we're going to pull open these polls, clear all. We're going to load our combat poll, conveniently placed. All right. Now, chat, here's what we've got left. And for anyone who was here, we obviously this is a smaller turnout because I don't usually do D&D with viewers on a Thursday. So, which means I'm going to have to remember that in future. I need to keep that in mind. So, for those of you who are here, I hope you will consider jumping on board to roll dice, but also I hope you will consider deciding how we want to go after this guy. So we have one slot left of Blur. Blur is going to be, I think, very useful against even a Cloud Giant dude. Casting Magic Missile is going to be really important, probably. We have one slot of that left. We also have, although we do have Chromatic Orb now that I think of it. So we could do that. Let me just double check. Let's see if I got Chromatic Orb going on here. Yeah. And we could use a higher level. I mean, there's another option as well, which is that we could also use a second. We could not use Blur. We could use... we could try to cast either Magic Missile or Chromatic Orb at second level, and then instead of hitting it for 3d8 damage, we would hit it for 4d8 damage. That might be very useful against this giant. So we could do that, so we have some options. So let me pull up the poll here and see what we want to do. Cast Blur, one slot left. Cast Ray of Frost. Cast Chromatic Orb. Okay. Might get lucky and be more effective than Magic Missile. Okay, sounds good, Trippin. All right. So we've got Blur. I should probably move this up here. We also have Dragon Breath. And Dragon Breath could be very useful. We could Chromatic Orb and then Dragon Breath, but the point is we have to decide what we do, or attack with the quarterstaff, or attack with a dagger. So, first of all, do I have someone who is willing to roll dice? Do we have someone who is willing to roll dice for us? And in chat, you can roll dice using an in-dice roller. I will explain how to do it. It's super easy. Is someone willing to roll dice for us? Would someone be willing to do that? Can I get a volunteer? Can I get a witness? And also a volunteer. Do I have a volunteer to roll dice? For the Avatar of Blunderbore. The Blunderbore of Avatar. Either way, scary. Do I have a volunteer for dice rolling? He said wonderingly. Look at that guy. Is that? Yeah. Standing right in front of us. I think it's interesting that it's an avatar, which means, because the original Cloud Giant, I mean, like, the actual, real, genuine article Cloud Giant, we have no shot against. Like, we are just flat out not going to win that battle. But an avatar could be if we play our cards right. It's going to involve a lot of, I feel like the Cold Breath is going to get used. I feel like the, we've used our sorcery points to get a slot back, so we probably can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore because we don't have it. So we're going to have to just, like, either Magic Missile or Chromatic Orb, and then Dragon Breath, and then hope that does enough. If we, for example, Chromatic Orbed at 2nd level, hit him, do 4d8 points of damage, and then Dragon Breath, and do another 2d6 damage, and let's say we roll pretty well on those, then he'd probably be pretty messed up, and we might be able to finish him off. If we don't do that, this is going to be a tough fight, I think. This is going to be not easy if we don't do that. So, oh, and there's also one other thing that I forgot to mention, which is that there are 20 rounds that we have to do this before the actual guy shows up. So, rounds to defeat the Avatar. 20 rounds to defeat the Avatar. All right, I'm going to move up to there to give us the stamina. 40. So he's got 40 hit points. And we have 20 rounds to defeat this Avatar. So, before we do that, we need a dice roller. Do I have someone who's willing to roll dice and be considered the hero of the stream? The winner of all things, dice rolling. Prince Justin started us out beautifully. Got some real stuff going on there. But now we've got others that must step in for what is definitely the final fight. Because it has, if you were able to survive an escape, see conclusion. So, there will be a conclusion if we are able to defeat this dude. Triffid, would you like to, welcome back. Would you like to roll dice for us, Triffid? Since this is the final countdown. Yeah, I was just going to say, all right, so for rolling the dice, it would just be, you would be rolling a, we just need to roll initiative first, and then we have to decide what we're actually going to do to fight this dude. So, initiative for us is just D20 plus 1. And I will roll for the guy. And he's just got a flat no dex score. Wow. Well, there's a good start. A 20. All right. I love it. He is probably not going to roll as well as that. All right. He's going to roll. I rolled a 12. All right. I know. Especially in a when there's only like 2 people that you have to worry about, right? All right. It's just setting the tone for what is to come. All right. So now, chat, we have to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to do this poll, and then depending on how the poll goes, if it's something that we can just keep doing over and over again, we're going to keep doing that to save time until someone says, wait a minute, can we do something else? But at least initially, there are a couple of like one-use items that we have available. So we could cast Blur. There's 1 slot left. However, if we cast Blur, that takes out our 2nd level slot. So we could, and in fact, let me add... we could cast Magic Missile. And we could cast it at either first or second level. And Chromatic Orb would be one slot left or second level. So even if we cast it at second level, we still have a slot left over. We could cast Ray of Frost. That's a cantrip. We can obviously do that with impunity. We could use our Dragon Breath. Those only recharge at short rests, but this is definitely the first. This is the first, this is the last encounter, the final encounter, so it seems like a good time to use Dragon Breath. That would do 2d6 cold damage if he misses his con save. Or we could attack with our quarterstaff, or we could attack with our dagger. So we could cast Blur. If we use Blur, that's our second level stuff done. And then we can't cast Magic Missile or Chromatic Orb at a higher level. So, $ vote space 1 is cast Blur, one slot left. 2 is cast Magic Missile, and then we'll decide if we want to do first or second level. 3 is Chromatic Orb, again, first or second level. 4 is Ray of Frost. 5 is Dragon Breath. 6 is Quarterstaff. 7 is Dagger. So go ahead, please, and get your votes in. $ vote space 1 for Blur, $ vote space 2 for Magic Missile, $ vote space 3 for Chromatic Orb, $ vote space 4 for Ray of Frost, 5 for Dragon Breath, 6 for Quarterstaff, 7 for Dagger. Please get your votes in. All right, we got a vote for Chromatic Orb, which feels like it's a gamble, but it feels like a legitimate gamble, given the, this guy's tough, so. All right, I'm going to last call this. Please, somebody get your votes in if you have not already done so and would like to vote. Again, Blur, one slot, but if we use that, that uses up our second level slots. 2, Magic Missile, we can use first or second level. 3, Chromatic Orb, one slot left, first, second level. Ray of Frost, we can do that, over and over again. 5 is Dragon Breath, 6 attack with Quarterstaff, 7 attack with Dagger. Going once, going twice. All right, we are going to cast Chromatic Orb. Now, the question is, do we cast it at first or second level? So, if we cast Chromatic Orb at first level, the way Chromatic Orb works is we would choose a particular type. I don't think it really matters in this case, but we would choose one. And then we would make a spell attack against the target, which in this case would be d20 plus 5. On a hit, the target takes 3d8 damage of the chosen type. Let's see. So, it can only be targeted once, right? So, the question is, if we do it at second level, the level of damage increases by another d8. So, in other words, we would roll it then, and we would be rolling, if it hits, 48 damage instead of 3d8 damage. That would use our second level slot. That is our last of those slots that we can use, but it would give us the opportunity to do that. So, quick, very easy binary vote here, chat. $ vote space 1 means we cast Chromatic Orb at first level. $ vote space 2 means we cast Chromatic Orb at second level. And we still do have a first level slot after this, so we could cast again Magic Missile or Chromatic Orb or whatever next turn at a lower level. So, Chromatic Orb, $ vote space 1 is first level, $ vote space 2 is second level. This is the what level should we use music that we got. Second level, I am inclined to agree. I think that is a good call. Okay, we're going to last call this as well. We're going to see if we can get, if we are going to use this at first or second level. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Right. So we are going to cast this at second level. All right, so this is going to be, I believe it is D20 plus 5, Triffid. Let me make sure if that's right. Yes, D20 plus 5. So let's get that vote in, or let's get the, not the vote, let's get the roll in. D20 plus 5, Triffid, if you would. Let's go! That is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Oh my God. That is as clutch as it gets, actually. So that means in my system, and it's my system, we get 48, and you don't even need to roll it because that's max damage. 32 points of damage to the giant. Wow. No joke. Things you love to see. That is a hell of a shot right there. Okay, very clutch. Okay. That's really, really funny. That's very cool. All right. So 32. Which means he's down to 8. It's just we should have picked one. I forgot to do that. Oops, went 10 too far. I don't know. What kind of damage do you want that to be, Triffid? I should have asked ahead of time. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder. Because he's not resistant to anything that's magical, so... Do you have a preference? Lightning? Okay, that sounds good. That's wow, that's really pretty awesome. Okay. All right, so he just like kaprow zot. Yeah, I love it. Okay. Right. So it is now his turn. All right, let's see. That's going to be No, that was it. That was doing Wait. This is not me getting out of it. This is me like wow. Okay. I'm going to have to say one of those hit. At first I was like, wait, what is going on with the... Okay. So I am going to say that one of those hit because there are like 4 in a row that actually hit. Okay. So... All right. So that's going to be 5 points of damage. Which brings us down now... Okay. Seven points. Okay. Dangerous times that we're dealing with here. Dangerous times, but okay. So back up to our round. All right. So now that we've done that, now we have an interesting decision to make because we have only first level spells left, but we do have our Dragon Breath. So we have basically 2 options now. We can't cast Blur anymore because that's second level. And we cannot cast a second level of Magic Missile. So it'd have to be a first of Magic Missile. So we could cast Chromatic Orb again, although given the fact that that isn't a guaranteed hit, not 100% sure that we want to do that. Ray of Frost, obviously, Dragon Breath. Could attack with our Quarterstaff or attack with our Dagger. Probably cannot afford to get another hit from this dude. So, question is, chat, do we cast Magic Missile? Now remember, Magic Missile means that we cast and we get 3d4 plus 1 in each case. So 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1. So if we roll really terribly, right, that would mean that we would roll a 1 on all 3 dice, and that would do only 6 points of damage to him. But if we rolled a 2 on one of them, that's 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7, wouldn't quite kill him off. So we would have to roll basically 2 2s on a 1d4, and then the other one could be whatever number it is. Okay, so we have Magic Missile. We have Chromatic Orb, does more damage if it hits, but it is not a guaranteed hit, which we kind of need to hit this dude because we're in big trouble. We don't have any healing or whatever. We could cast Ray of Frost, but again, he has a save against that. It's not an automatic hit, and it will only do 8 points of damage at maximum, okay? We could, however, use our Dragon Breath as well. Again, that's a con saving throw. They would make, that's 2d6 cold damage on a failed save, half as much damage on a successful one. That could mean a minimum of 1 point of damage. If he makes his con save and we roll 2 2s, or 2 1s rather, that we would only do 1 point of damage. But it could be as much as 12 points of damage, so it could be a good one for him. And then attack with a quarterstaff and attack with a dagger. Not sure that makes sense given that we're fighting a giant. So the question is, what do we do? My thought, normally I don't make recommendations, but my thought is, given what I've just laid out, I think the magic missile is probably the most likely scenario to take this dude down, especially with our 1 slot left. But I will let you make your decision, chat. So let's get a vote in. $ vote space 1 is magic missile with our final first level slot. And then I guess we could do Dragon Breath next round if we survive, but again. $ vote space 2 is Chromatic Orb. $ vote space 3, Ray of Frost. $ vote space 4, Dragon Breath. 5, Attack with Quarterstaff. 6, Attack with Dagger. I can't believe, Triffid, that you just absolutely critted that guy. Like, it must have been you were inspired by the sight of Jack in the Cage. You were just like, we cannot allow Jack and the Beanstalk to fail. Like, oh my goodness. That was something. That was very impressive. Oh, also I forgot that we are down to 18 rounds to defeat the Avatar before the real giant shows up. All right, last call. Going once. Going twice. And magic missile it is. Okay. So we have, Triffid, if you would please, 1d4 plus 1 3 times. 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1. Need to take this dude out. Three, I like what I see. It's a good start. One more like that. Another 3. 3, 6, 9. That's all we needed. 3, 6, 9. Down goes the giant. I kind of can't believe, honestly, that I was like, I don't know that we're winning this. Wow. Down goes Frazier. Wow. Prince Justin and Triffid for the win on these dice rolls. Good stuff. With one last effort, you defeat the visage. It fades away as booming laughter fills the halls. You gather your wits and sprint over to Jack. The gate door is open and Jack is bound by his hands and feet inside the cage. You undo his bindings, help him up, and begin the race out. Jack travels at your speed with you out of the dungeon from a burst of adrenaline of finally being freed. Ah, okay, so let me make sure. So on each round then. All right, on each round, let's see what we have. So let me move this over here. Let me move this over here. Okay, so let's see. Each of these are, what is this, 5 feet? It does not say. It should say. These 5-foot squares or 10-foot squares. It's going to matter in a minute. Does not say, so I'm going to assume 5 feet. Which usually is the standard. Okay, so let's trace this out, shall we? On our running out. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, but we're obviously going to double move every time. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay. That's one round. That brings us down to 17 rounds left to defeat the Avatar. Oh, no, we had a third round, so that's 16. Okay. Double move again. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Again, that's double move. All right, that brings us down to 15 rounds. I think we got this, chat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Again, double moving. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. That brings us down to 14 rounds. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh, yeah. Without even, I mean, with plenty of room to spare. Basically because Triffid just annihilated that guy with a chromatic orb. That was as clutch as it gets, by the way. That is one of the more clutch rolls I've seen in recent memory in tabletop. That was something else. All right. We made it out with ease, which means we proceed to Chapter 5, the conclusion. You rush out of the cave, look at Jack, say something along the lines of, "Follow me if you want to live," and dash for the Beanstalk. You could still feel the earth rumble and the cloud giant roar as he searches around the cave for you and Jack. After traveling some distance from the cave, you slow down to catch your breath. Jack says, "Nice to meet you. I'm Jack, as you can likely tell. What a hero you are, but we'd best be going. Don't want to end up being his dinner." You both continue. You run as fast as you and hard as you can. You run as fast and hard as you ever have towards that Beanstalk. Luckily for you both, it is still unattended. You both waste no time in heading down. By a stroke of good fortune, you make it down the stalk without further consequence. There is no one waiting at the bottom of the stalk anymore. It seems they are accustomed to packing up immediately once the next hero appears. However, that does not stop Jack from sprinting towards his old but not forgotten home. Jack bursts in the front door, and you follow behind him to find his sweet old mother knitting and singing spiritual hymns by the hearth. Startled by the sudden barging in, I assume, of two large figures, she screams loudly, "It's me! Ma, it's me! Oh my gosh, Ma!" Jack cries as he falls to his knees. My son has come back to me. My baby sweet boy Jack, you're home. Thank you. Thank you." Jack's mother, sobbing, yells out. You are unsure whether she is thanking you, the gods, or perhaps Triffid's incredible chromatic orb roll, or perhaps both. You step outside to give them a few moments together after many, many years. Jack retrieves you after they are finished speaking. You are then invited back into the home for stew and bread. Jack begins to recount his imprisonment among the clouds. It turns out that Blunderbore used him as bait for many years. He would capture any adventurer who would come up to the clouds and eat them viciously in front of Jack. That's not going to lead to any trauma. However, Blunderbore ended up consuming so many adventurers that he grew complacent. He designed a trap cave to lure the adventurers in so he wouldn't have to do any work himself, until a heroic adventurer named you came along. The news spreads quickly that Jack has returned. The entirety of Farador was essentially shut down for a week as citizens of the realm came by to show their respects for the hero Jack, and you, of course. Every day is a feast with new friends to meet. The Queen of Farador herself even came down to the farm one night to share some wine she personally made with her father before he passed. Queen Hestia of Farador truly respects her people, including yourself. Queen Hestia brought a small treasure chest for you to indulge in as well. She also allows you to put in an order to Kizawink's exotic emporium of gallant goods on her dime. This means you're allowed to choose any single rare magic item you would like. Additionally, you receive 500 gold pieces from the Crown of Farador. This reward is increased to 800 gold if you discovered the golden egg-laying hen and gifted it to Jack's mother. Yeah, we didn't because we didn't have a way to carry it, so... Congratulations, you have successfully completed up the Beanstalk and leveled up to level 4. We did it, chat. I honestly, straight up, I did not think we were going to win this. When I saw the stats on the giant, I'm like, we have like no spells left. We have like one spell slot. And the other, by the way, side note, Prince Justin's dice rolling against the mini Earth Elemental was also huge because if we had had to use another magic missile or something, we wouldn't have been able to do that. The only reason that worked is because we had a second level slot left that we could cast Chromatic Orb on and follow that up with a magic missile. So we took the giant out quite literally in 2 rounds. Otherwise, there is no telling what he would have been able to do to us because we were down to 7 points. and we were out of healing, and like we would have had no shot. So we did it. Up the Beanstalk, complete, which is appropriate because this is the ending music that we're getting for there. So I liked this a lot better than the one that we were doing before, which was Into the Unknown. Into the Unknown, because Into the Unknown, first of all, had too many mistakes. Frankly, there was a lot of QA problems that I complained about. This had a lot fewer. There were a couple, but they were mostly like typos, so not too bad. And the other thing about this was that it was just a much tighter experience, whereas Into the Unknown felt a little like kind of random, like loosey-goosey, wandering around type of stuff. So I was very much more pleased about the fact that we were able to actually have a tight, like experience that actually could get done in a reasonable amount of time. So good work, everybody. Congratulations. Up the Beanstalk is complete. Not a bad solo adventure from Pace Setter Games, and I'll give them a pop. Actually, wait. Yeah, there we go. And I think I backed this on Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm always looking for good solo stuff. So I think I did back that on Kickstarter. So good job, everyone. All right, well, so what that means is, that it was going to finish one way or the other very quickly. Either we were going to get obliterated by the giant, or we were going to, so I was glad that we did that. Nice. And that's the ending. And that's how it all goes. No, okay, so I want to save the PDF. Okay, we're going to save the PDF, and then we're going to get a little bit of bonus action tonight, chat, which I'm actually pretty excited about. It's going to be it is time to unbox something. I will show you in a minute. As it is doing the thing, as it's doing this. Again, shout out Dragon Spear, put me on to this PDF 24. So shout out. But this one, I want to edit that. Dafria, June 11th, 2026. We're going to save that there. Nice. Okay. Alrighty, so we have done that, which means I can get rid of a few of these things. I can get rid of, let's see, where's my, yeah, I can get rid of that. Remove. And now I can get rid of the things that I'm not going to need here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I love clearing up space on my desktop when I have all these things that have been going on. All right, I can get rid of this, which means that is off. I can get rid of the battle thing as well. And last but certainly not least, get rid of the poll thing also. Okay, great. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is going to head over to the current game, but I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Actually, I could also do this. I am going to show off a little bit. We're going to do a bit of an unboxing video. So let me wrap this up first, actually. Before I do that, so that those who are watching the VOD don't feel like, wait, what am I doing, wasting my time with extra stuff. For those of you who were watching the VOD, thank you all for watching. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch and all that good stuff. And congrats to Pace Setter Games for putting out a solid solo module. So I'm going to stop recording with that. So thank you to those for that. Oops, I just started a virtual cam. I don't even know what that was doing.